Ever notice how students just seem to forget everything over a long break? Like all that hard work, poof, gone. Or how about motivating students? Sometimes it feels like I'm pulling teeth just to get them engaged.
Oh, yeah, it's a common frustration for teachers. But what if I told you there's a way to understand these patterns and actually use them to your advantage?
Wait, really? You're saying there's like a science to student behavior?
Absolutely. It's called behavioral economics. And it helps us understand why people make the choices they do. You know, our students included. It's about those predictably irrational decisions. You know, the ones that leave us scratching our head.
Okay, I'm intrigued. So how can behavioral economics actually help teachers in the classroom?
Well, think of it as like a toolkit for understanding those cognitive quirks that influence both teaching and learning.
Okay.
By recognizing these tendencies, we can design strategies that work with the way our brains are wired, not against them.
So instead of fighting an uphill battle, we can actually use these quirks to our advantage.
Exactly. And in this deep dive, we're going to explore some practical strategies teachers can use, grounded in behavioral economics, of course, to create more effective learning environments.
All right, let's dive in. Where do we start?
Let's start with a bias that most teachers will recognize: availability bias. Think back to a time when you were swayed by a recent event when evaluating a student.
Okay.
Maybe a student bombed their last quiz, and you started to worry they weren't grasping the material.
Oh, I've totally been there. It's so easy to get caught up in the moment, especially when you have a lot on your plate.
Right, and that's availability bias in action. It's this tendency we all have to overestimate the likelihood of something happening, based on how easily we can recall examples of it. Like if you hear about a few car accidents on a particular road, you might start to think it's a dangerous road, even if statistically it's no worse than any other.
So how does this play out in the classroom?
Well, imagine you're a new teacher, and a student